So South Africa play in the final test against Pakistan tomorrow, and it's one of those games where I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about it as a fan because we've already been chosen or we've already earned us our spot in the Test Championship final. So this game is kind of not as important when it comes to meaning something, when it comes to, of course, making it into the final because it's already obviously been done. So there are some danger points which I feel that needs to be discussed heading into the game at Newlands. It's not the easiest place or venue to play Test cricket. So there's a lot to maybe discuss. We also got the team news. It's already been finalized who is going to be playing in tomorrow's game, which I'll bring to you as well. But before we get going, before we get started, there's a couple of things I'd like you guys to please do. First and foremost, subscribe to the channel, click that notification bell for all future videos. Don't forget to smash that like button, comment and share. And also don't forget to also comment on this video after the live stream is over. It's very important that you guys do so because that's how we get recommended on YouTube to other South African cricket fans, and you know as well that we are a South African cricket channel, so we are trying to spread our content far and wide on YouTube. So if you guys can help us out there by commenting in the comment section below after this video stream has ended, then I really will appreciate it. It really helps out the channel a hell of a lot. And I mean, of course, as a community over here, we want to obviously broaden our discussions, broaden our communications amongst each other as fans, and the only way we do so is if we can spread our content. I'd also like you guys to please subscribe to Cricket Fanatics Magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every month. The link is on the screen as well as in the description. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your live cricket show. I'm your host, Fadi Moedin, and this is the show where we will be discussing the second test between South Africa and Pakistan. It's the final test of the tour. And South Africa obviously won the first one. So we and qualified for the WTC, the World Championship final. So World Test Championship final. So how do we approach this? How do we look at this? Well, my biggest concern is complacency. After already qualifying for the final, it doesn't necessarily put a hell of a lot of importance on this game. But when I look at the team that was selected, uh, and when I look at the situation that we find ourselves in, I think there is a hell of a lot to play for. Okay, yes, pride, yes, a 2-0 whitewash, obviously that will be great. But I think these players a lot of them need to maybe put up their hand and prove themselves after not maybe having the best of times in recent test matches. The Bangladesh tour, now the Pakistan tour, not everybody really performed exceptionally well. There are a lot of guys that maybe performed maybe under par according to what they feel is the standard that they should be delivering. So I think there's a lot to play for from that perspective. But let's just have a look at the 11. The 11 was revealed today in the press conference, and I was present at the presser today, so for Themba Bavuma's presser, and I tried to put out the team as quickly as I could on social media platforms, of course, that we have currently. But this is the 11 that was announced by Themba Bavuma: Aiden Markram, Ryan Rickleton will be opening the batting. Rian Mulder will be batting at 3. Tristan Stubbs at 4. Temba at 5. David at 6. Kyle at 7. Marco at 8. Keshav at 9. Kahiso at Rabada at 10. And then number 11, we're getting another debutant in action, Kwena Mapaka. So this is obviously exciting for Kwena. There was obviously a lot of questions in the press about Kwena Mapaka getting his debut. And I think that this is a great time to maybe see what Kwena can offer in the red ball arena. We don't get many tests. We're not going to get any home games next season. Um, Obviously, from a test perspective, by the end of the year, we normally have a home summer. We won't be having that this time around. So this is another opportunity for the coach to give some a chance to someone that maybe is on the fringes of national call-ups right around. We've seen him often now in the white ball arena. So tests is obviously going to be where we're going to need him, I feel, a lot more. The speed and the left arm variation that he offers really gives us something exciting to obviously look forward to when he makes his debut, when he does come through and start starting on a regular basis. So I'm excited to see what Kwena Mapaka can offer. I'm excited to see what he can do as a player, as a player in the side. And it's something that we really looking forward to, I think, a lot of fans, because there were certain games where people said, why hasn't he started in those matches, and why hasn't he been given opportunity earlier? Now I always use the reason behind it, obviously being that he's still a youngster, only 18 years old, and to push him into the squad when you don't really necessarily need to, and put him under that enormous amount of pressure to be one of your star bowlers, can be something that can affect a player in a negative way, their career. But I think this is a perfect opportunity with the series already won. I don't think there will be as much pressure on him with regards to that. Newlands also in the morning sessions can move around a bit. This is also an opportunity for him to play with Kagiso Rabada. And I think there's a hell of a lot that he can obviously learn from a senior bowler. And like Kagiso, who has seen everything, has played everywhere, has beaten every single team as well. So there's a lot that excites me about this test match from that perspective, you know. Now, another aspect of the team that maybe needs to be highlighted and maybe needs to be looked at is the fact that Ryan Rickleton will be opening the batting. Now, Tony De is injured, and that's the reason why we don't see him in this particular lineup. To confirm with you guys, I mean, I was at the training sessions yesterday at the training session, and I did see that he was kind of hobbling around. So it makes sense that he's not in the 11. But Tony has been ruled out because of a left thigh strain. He sustained that injury while fielding on day 3 of the first test at Supersport Park, and the scans have revealed the extent of the injury. This is a precautionary measure, and he will miss the final match because of that. And there's been no replacement, of course, named into the squad for Tony. It isn't really necessary, because they do have Matthew Brzezinski on the bench as well, as a potential injury replacement. So Ryan opens the batting for the Lions. That's number 3 for the Lions sometimes as well. Even can go lower down the order if needed. But he slots into that opening position. He's also a left armer, so he gives that left arm option as well. So there isn't major issues, I feel, with regards to that at all. He comes slot straight in. But it's a big opportunity now for Ryan to maybe try and solidify a spot, maybe in the test 11. We aren't always going to have a situation where players, where we can play so many batters as we did in the recent times, 7 official batters.
So Ryan can really put up his hand and perform here. It will put pressure, of course. I don't think the coach will feel the pressure necessarily to select. He'll select. I feel who he feels is the right players, regardless of who performs and who doesn't. But it does give the coach a headache if he does perform now, in this position, in this team. He's getting obviously a different role now, a different challenge, coming in every year and having to face the new ball at Newlands. So yeah, another big change is obviously Vian Mulder. And I was surprised at first when Temba said that. I wasn't surprised with his selection. We got him in a mixed zone yesterday, and it kind of makes sense, because why would they put him up, for an interview or for a mixed zone if he's not going to be back into the side? We do know that Coach Shukri is a fan of Vian and what he can contribute with the bat as well as with the ball. The type of bowling that he obviously contributes, the fact that he is a type of guy that is more about putting the ball in a consistent line and length over a period of time. It makes that decision to take Dane Patterson out. It makes sense, because if Vian's available, I don't think that we see Dane Patterson play when everybody is fit anyway. Even with the guys that are injured, regardless of that. But Vian batting at 3 is a big talking point, because maybe I have seen some fans maybe have a go at that decision, and people being confused about it. But Vian Mulder did start his career off, as a number 3 batter when he was a youngster. So for under 19 and for his school, batting always seemed, for me, in my opinion, the best possible, um, option for him. It was always his first discipline in my eyes. And over the years, obviously, he's been pushed down the order, but more that was from an international perspective. They saw him more as a type of player that bats, lower down the order. But I've always known him as a top order batter that bowls, personally. That was always my view of him, when it comes to his performances and the way he plays. But overall, it is a good challenge for him. It might be a surprising selection, and it might be a surprising, position to bat him in. But let's see what he can do. It's another opportunity for the coach to maybe try something different, and see what a player like Vian can do, if he's given the time to bat for long periods, because it will solve a lot of problems for South Africa in the future if Vian Mulder can really continuously improve his batting and continuously to climb the ladder, when it comes to his batting position. Because we already know that when it comes to domestic cricket, he does bat a little higher than what he plays for the Proteas usually, away bats for the Proteas usually. So that gives us a nice insight into that. Um, I've already spoken about Gwena Mapaka, and his debut, and I think that's going to be an awesome opportunity. So just to confirm with you guys again what the 11 will be for tomorrow's game. Temba Bavuma has pre-announced it in his press conference, so that helps us out a lot when trying to review this game. But as you guys can see over here, we've got Aiden Markram to open with Ryan Rickleton. We've got Vian Mulder in number 3. We've got Tristan Stubbs in at number 4. Temba Bavuma as captain at 5. David Bedingham at 6. Calvarena as the wicketkeeper. Marco Jansen at 8. Keshav Maharaj at 9. Kagiso Rabada at 10. And Kwena Mapaka at 11. Now, there are a lot of people also maybe questioning the leaving Corbin Bosch out of the team after he had a very good test match personally for himself. But he initially was selected into the team. We all know he was because of the amount of injuries that South Africa have in the bowling department. So he was given an opportunity, obviously, under those circumstances. And Keshav Maharaj was also injured at the time. So leaving out the spinner was also made sense in Centurion. But at Newlands, it makes sense to pick a spinner. This wicket has been something that has helped the spinners. In domestic cricket, particularly, we see the likes of Kyle Simmons and we see the likes of George Linder get a hell of a lot of success at Newlands. So having a spinner is the right decision in my opinion, because that is something that I feel is that we need to take into consideration, particularly maybe on day 2, day 3, when the sun bakes on the pitch a bit. That will help a lot from that perspective with regards to the pitch.
Hey guys, sorry, this crashed. So I have no idea what's happening over here with regards to this. So I'm gonna have to call it here because this program is crashing and I don't know what's going on with regards to it. It doesn't want to restart. It's just going and going and going. But I think I covered everything on today's show. I think I covered all the aspects of the match. I see a lot of you guys have been speaking about Bosch getting dropped. And I think that's a major talking point that has come up with regards to this. But he was always going to be a person that was just going to be a peg within or a stopgap in the team, because we know that someone like Keshav Maharaj is going to come straight back into the team if we're going to play with a spinner. So that's always going to be the case when it comes to this particular lineup. I don't think someone like Keshav, I don't think someone like Corbin Bosch was seen as a person that's going to be there as a continuous selection unless there are other players that are injured. He came into the team because of Kesha's injury. He came into the team because there was some injuries happening with regards to all of our fast bowlers that are out. I have an inkling feeling that, or a hint or a hunch, that perhaps Coach Shukri would have been looking at someone like maybe like Andrik Nokia to come back into the mix when it comes to Test cricket. And I think that's something that we might not actually think about when it comes to this team. But when he got injured in the ODIs, that obviously threw things off quite a bit. And also Nande Berger being out, Chikutia being out. I don't see Corbin Bosch getting into the team with all of those players if they are available. I think there is now a picking order and a line that he has to stand in before he gets selected. And yes, he had a good test match and he did well. But perhaps it's hard to find a place for him, especially if Keshav Maharaj is available. We've got a couple of comments over here that I want to just get through. We've got Paul saying, it's a good team, win, toss, and bat first. Sarat says, just curious to know why Mapaka is getting a lot of opportunities but not three of us. Because it works differently, I feel, for batters than it does for bowlers. It works differently for bowlers than it does for batters. As a bowler, I've always explained this on many a show. When it comes to a bowler, all they kind of need to do is bowl consistent line and lengths over a period of time. Now, what happens is when it comes to bowlers is that a good line and length is a good line and length no matter where you play. A good line and length is dangerous no matter what level of cricket that you're playing. So it's about rhythms and confidence. Now, yes, bowlers also get into situations where things can get tricky and things can get difficult, and then you end up obviously not bowling accurately enough. It's about rhythm as well. But it's a lot easier, I feel, for a bowler to adapt to Test cricket than it is for a batter. Because with regards to bowling, in domestic cricket particularly, you do get good batters to bowl to. They are facing guys that are really good at batting long innings. But on the flip side, with regards to batters, they're not facing necessarily as many bowlers as of the quality of Pakistan's bowling attack, for example, or Australia's bowling attack, or England's bowling attack, or any other country's bowling attacks. There are a lot of top quality bowling attacks around the world at the moment. Many teams have great bowling attacks at the moment, and that have the ability to be able to accurately put the ball in dangerous positions, of course. And I think that's the problem from a South African standpoint, is that our batters don't get enough exposure to the similar quality that they would face at Test cricket. So their technical flaws, etc., get exposed a lot faster. And I think for batters particularly, unless they have have excelled in finding their technique and their ability, and there aren't many flaws within their game, and you can see that early on, it will be very hard for a batter to come in straight away at that age. I'm just being, that's how I feel about it personally. Sarat says Brevis has done decently in domestic circuit too, but not got a single opportunity at the international level. He's gotten opportunities at the international level, he has, but not necessarily performed where he has been given opportunity. But I do think that we are stacked in his position in the side when it comes to the batting lineup. AK Bosch getting dropped is strange. Mapaka should play at least a year of domestic cricket for internationals. I do agree that more games under his belt would have been ideal. But South Africa really don't have the luxury, especially it would be the right time of the next few years to start blooding him in quickly, because we are picking up a lot of injuries from our bowlers. So it's a nice opportunity to see what he can do and whether he's ready or not. We have given ourselves that opportunity by winning the first Test match. Paul says both being excluded is strange. However, having already qualified for the WTC, giving more guys chances makes sense. Erin says I would prefer 10 bat 4 to try stop a collapse. Prasad says just believe in Shukri Conrad. Reza says Brevis has received ample opportunities to T20I, but proves he is not ready. He even gets regular opportunities in the IPL playing for my MS, but never delivers. As we are already in the WTC final, it's better to give opportunities to Mapaka. He's good. They need one bowler who will bowl 140 plus and 150, because he's been hitting 150 recently. And we lack a lot of guys that are of that pace that are available currently. That's why Corbin Bosch got an opportunity, because he's one of the fastest bowlers in South Africa when it comes to that. And there aren't many guys that can hit that speed. So that's the reason. And if you look at the team, Bosch was actually left out for Keshav and not for Quena. Dane Patterson actually lost his place to Quena in this particular lineup. Darren says, didn't think Bosch would make this test, seemed sacked after the first test. Getting opportunity at international level matters. Prashad says, everyone tells team environment is very good. Shooks is very straightforward and tough man. He will speak with everyone why they are not selected in 11. And we did see some of those conversations happening during the training session yesterday. Sarah says, Brevis was included in the squad against Bangladesh. This could have been the right time to give him a shot. Sam says, number 3 really should be fixed before WTC final. Pratik says, hope SA does not get complacent given that they have qualified for the WTC final. They should think of winning this test match hands down. One would be a win for Pakistan. Reza says Brevis in test pecking order is behind Rickerton even risky at this stage. Lawrence says it's much easier to fast track young bowlers than batters. Batting is a lot more technical, which requires a bit more fine tuning, whereas bowlers can just run up trying to bowl as fast as they can. Uh, Kunyama Bali says Nepal come so close to win against SA. I told you. Lawrence says big opportunity for Rickerton to stake a claim for the opening slot. Majority of his FC first class hundreds come when he is opening for the Lions. And that's a nice opportunity, and it's going to give a headache to Coach Shukri with regards to that. But I'm looking forward to the game. I will be present at the match. I will be at Newlands covering it. Sorry for the major technical difficulties in the middle of the video. Don't know what's going on with regards to the program on the computer. It's working fine on the phone. But yeah, I have at least produced a preview before this match and covered everything that I wanted to cover. And just to give you guys a quick update on what has been going on with the team. If you are tuning in now and you don't know what the 11 is, the 11 has been announced. The 11 is as follows: Aiden Markham at 1, Ryan at 2, Vian at 3, Tristan at 4, Temba at 5, Kyle at 7, Marco at 8, Kesha Maharaj at 9, Kagisha Rabada at 10, and Kuema Paka at 11. So guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to smash that like button, comment, share, and subscribe. Also comment in the comment section after we've ended the stream. It really helps out the channel. It really helps spread the content on the channel as well. So guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. And I'll see you guys again very, very soon with another live cricket show. Stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Peace out, everyone.